Nice game, Tigers. He. Here's the face of Alabama. I don't care. I knew it was going to happen all along.
No. Now, what I did not know.
He knew.
What I did not know. Well, we started yet?
Yeah.
Okay. What I did not know, I did not expect them to pitch a shutout. Now, I don't know if that's because Alabama's defense is so good, or does LSU suck?
All I know is Les Miles wouldn't have lost 29-0.
Y'all ran Les Miles out a long time ago. Listen, if Alabama's defense plays like that, then I don't know if you can beat them. Now, I was impressed by Clemson. I was. Anytime you hang 77 on somebody, I don't care if you are playing Oak Grove High School and you're Clemson. You hang 77 on somebody, that's 77. That's Louisville. That's Bobby, what's his name? What is his name?
Bobby Petrino?
Yeah, worst human being on the face of the earth. But a good football coach.
You want to ride on my motorcycle?
Yeah, you're a state employee. Yeah. But, I mean, he's still a good football coach. And when you throw 77 on him, I mean, and you're at home, Clemson's impressive. But if Alabama's defense plays like that, I like their chances. Because I didn't think Tua played a great game, but his okay game is still better than 90% of the college football quarterbacks out there. Well, including the LSU quarterback.
You know, LSU they do have good defensive backs. It did make it they weren't running as wide open as he's seen in other games. If we wouldn't have lost John Battle in the first, I guess it was the second play. Oh, man, he hyperextended his knee on the tackle, and he was out the rest of the game. I was like, oh, wonderful. Wonderful. We just jacking this whole game up. So it's really terrible. I hope y'all can hear us with this.
It's trying to lean close so we can yell in. So,
let me see. There you go.
There it is. That's even better. But yeah, I like the way they look. I think the four teams to me that are cutting up now, Alabama, Clemson, I still think are a cut above everybody else. But then I put Notre Dame and Michigan in there. Sorry, LSU, it's over. It's over. You'll be playing in the Safeco New Orleans Bowl.
Even though Alabama will
against UCF.
Even though Alabama will only play one team in the top 25 this year, they have such a great record. And it's just like everybody else. Nobody else has played anybody more than, I think, one team in the top 25. Now LSU's played three teams in the top 5.
Yeah, if Michigan pounds Ohio State, is it going to matter? I mean, Ohio State deserved to lose that game to Nebraska. Nebraska should have won that game.
What about Purdue?
Everybody in the whole country was pulling for Purdue.
You're right.
Everybody was.
That's the best story of the year
so
far. I was like, oh, poor little guy's going to leave. Tyler, what's his name? Tyler.
Yeah.
He's going to leave there all disappointed and good game.
No.
And then they pulled it out for him. Man, you got to believe there's bigger things at work.
Was anybody less thrilled to win a game than Ohio State fans were over Nebraska? I mean, that was like, oh my gosh, what just happened?
How many people were in that stadium when it's over?
Yeah, not as many. But so if Michigan beats Ohio State, which is the only only team they have left, does anybody care? And then if they beat Wisconsin, does anybody care? Because it's just like okay. So if Clemson wins the ACC, really, does anybody care? But if you win the SEC, even you have to play Georgia and beat them again. I think they should beat Georgia. Between Georgia and Auburn this weekend, you can't count Auburn out. Auburn's always got a chance to come up and beat you because Georgia's like that Jekyll and Hyde team right now. So Georgia could win. Auburn could win. Whoever wins, doesn't matter. Alabama could lose. They could play 2 of 1 quarter in the SEC championship game, and would that surprise anybody if they did? So... And nobody's still talking about what was wrong with Jalen Hurts. I still can't figure out what was happening. I mean,
I saw him walking on the field before, and he couldn't walk on his own. He had a coach hold on to him. He looked like me right before surgery.
Like you, right after you got eaten, a couple of those burrito bombs. That's what he looked like.
Yeah, he looked like he just went to 7-Eleven and got some mucho burrito.
You know, that kid who came in and played the thing. So I think they want to get Jalen back and healthy, and go from there. And if you're LSU. You hate to say you go play for next year, but isn't that where you're at right now? Don't you want to see who you got for next year? get to the bowl games, see what you got, see where you at. I mean, if LSU plays UCF, and that would be my dream matchup. I want to see LSU and UCF, and I'll be pulling for LSU like nobody business. But I mean, isn't that what you want? What
UCF, weren't they? Didn't they win the national championship last year?
Yeah, in their minds they did. In their minds, and Danny Cannell's minds, yeah.
Danny Cannell. Oh,
so that's where we're at now. It's interesting. I think Alabama is the team to beat, obviously, and not because I'm just a big Alabama fan, which I am. I still think Alabama and Clemson are the two best teams by far. I don't think Notre Dame would stand a chance against either one of them, and I don't think Michigan stand a chance against either one of them. I think Alabama would beat either of those teams 30-40 to 10-15-20. I think Clemson beats them 50.
It's Alabama and Clemson.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
And really, isn't that what you want? I mean, don't you want the two best teams?
I think so. I think these other teams are good, but they don't have the consistency week in and week out. LSU has shown flashes of being good, but up front, they don't. I mean, this was a cobbled together offensive line from the start. I thought Auburn was going to destroy it. I thought Georgia was going to destroy it. Florida pretty much did. And then we know Alabama did. That line. Then the next day, you had a 5-star guard recruit who's committed to LSU. I forgot the guy's name, but he came out and said, guarantees LSU's going to win the next 4 games against Alabama. So, really all we need is a bunch of 5-star offensive linemen, and I'm sure that could come true.
You want those kids to think that way. I mean,
I like it. You got a freshman. He's not even a freshman. He's going to be a freshman next year, and he's guaranteeing stuff.
And he's playing high school football, and he's going, I'm the baddest man on the planet.
We need a little swagger after 29-0. Jesus.
And then when you get up there and you actually go on the field and play those boys, then you go, wow. Because listen, when you get to the level of LSU and Alabama and Clemson and Notre Dame and Michigan, you were the best player on your high school team. You're probably the best player in your district. You were one of the best players in state, and I don't care where you're from. Mm-hmm. It's a different world. It is a completely different world. And just like if you play the Alabama team, and I know everybody likes to do this, but if Alabama played the New England Patriots, it'd be a different world to them. They'd be like, oh my God, look at this. It's completely different. It's completely
They have way more
everything.
receivers than the Patriots.
Yeah. And then
more running backs.
And the Patriots find a way to beat them anyway. Because they're pros. Because they're
I would like to see that game. Right now, I want to see the Patriots and Alabama play. This would be a good game.
They always trope that. You're too young to remember. They used to have an NFL team play a college all-star team or something like that. Back
that's when everybody weighed 220 pounds.
Yeah, but still, there's a big difference between, the best high school team. You take Duke in basketball. And did you see that game last night? How awesome they have best they get.
Look like Alabama playing LSU.
But you put them up against the Warriors and it's over. It's not a close game. It's not.
Against the Warriors, yeah. What about the Hawks?
I don't think it's against the Hawks. I don't think so.
I got Duke against the Hawks.
I wouldn't because you forget that every NBA team, just like every football team, pro football team, is an all-star team.
I'll bet you Alabama's offensive line weighs more than the Patriots' offensive line. I'll bet you money.
Maybe.
I might be wrong, but I'd put money against Alabama's offensive line all the way over 300 pounds. And
well,
they're 26 years old.
Let's go ahead and pick them. We don't want to go 48 minutes like we did last week. All right, here we go. I'm picking Georgia to beat Auburn. I'm picking Bama to beat Mississippi State. Who y'all playing?
Arkansas. Arkansas.
So I'm picking LSU to beat Arkansas. So that's what I'm seeing as far as what's going on this week. That's our schedule. It's all about Alabama, LSU. And then next year, we'll see what Mr. Wonderful Freshman, what he does, how he says it.
So, Odron was on the sideline recruiting Tua's brother last week. Why
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
And he had he already committed, and he's walking around with the LSU lanyard and all that on.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do it? I mean, Hawaii. Hawaii has become the hot spot for recruiting. Isn't that amazing? I'm going to Hawaii next week, by the way.
Ooh, I want to go Hawaii.
Well,
Can I mail myself with you?
no. No.
Where you going?
The Big Island.
Oh,
Gotta
you
go
going
for
to
a wedding.
Honolulu?
To the Big Island.
Is that Honolulu?
That's Oahu.
Oh, I thought Honolulu was on there. No. Whatever. I don't know anything about I went to Maui one time and cut my foot open. First 5 minutes I was there.
This is good stuff right here. All right. We'll see y'all not next week because I'll be in Hawaii. But a week after that.
Georgia's going to beat Auburn.
And we'll be ready for the LSU. Well, we'll be ready for Alabama, Auburn. We'll see what happens. Take care.